This is Selam and Hello, where stories of joy and justice vibrate with the rhythm of Africa and the diaspora.
Worried anxious group of people trying to move along. Maybe one day we'll get onto something. Until then, we say, hold on.
I want to play a game with you before we let you go, called Could We Be Cousins? So for the listeners out there, you know, in Ethiopia, the names are passed down. Usually you take your father's first name as your surname. So it's really actually hard to trace it through a family line per se, unless you have it written down, because everybody's name changes every single time. But I happen to share a surname with Arséma's family. So I thought it'd be fun for us to play a little game called Could We Be Cousins? In Ethiopia, we would have to be siblings, but let's not get too crazy here. We'll call it cousins. Okay, so Arséma, I'm gonna ask you a question. Most of them are yes, no. And the way this is gonna work is I have some paper here. Here we go. And I'm gonna write down the answers, my answer to it. And then we'll kind of answer at the same time. We'll see if we can time this really well. And then we'll tally up the score at the end. And we'll figure out if this thing is gonna, you know, if we'll see each other at the family barbecue next July. Okay, so that's what we're looking at. Okay. So question number one, did your mom and or relative and or auntie put in any, I think it's gonna be more of the mother role here, ever recycle ice cream containers or other food containers for using for what? To the point where you would go to the freezer thinking you're opening up ice cream only to find what of some sort? Yes or no? So this is a yes or no kind of question. Okay. 2, 3. What's your answer? This is my answer. Yes. Okay. So that's 1 point for the cousins. That is dedicated to Atu and Alam and everybody else who ruined my childhood Friday nights with their what frozen in my freezer.
It's true, Ababa. She knows herself. So Hasu.
Exactly. This is for you, aunties. Okay. All right. So next question. If you had to choose between kitfo, furfur, and dulet, kitfo, furfur, or dulet, what are you picking? So this is not yes, no. This is you gotta, you know, make a decision on this one. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, I was gonna say kutfo.
Oh, you said kutfo.
Hey, kutfo. I love it was one or the other, I'm gonna say.
Okay. Well, it looks like we're divided now. It's 1-1. So for cousin, not cousin. Okay, so I'm a first for good writer. Kutfo has done me wrong a few times.
Oh, really?
You don't have a kutfo story of like at a wedding where you just went too far with the kutfo and then you paid for it the next day? Nothing?
You know, but that is like, it's always worth it. I have never tasted anything that puts a smile on my face the way kutfo does. It's the smell, it's the cottage cheese, the ibe sometimes.
Yes. Okay. I agree with you. There are times where I can feel my anemia rising and I'm like, the only thing that will solve this is kutfo. And I do order kutfo because we don't make it at home. I do have to order kutfo from Abyssinia. Abyssinia was probably here when you were living in Nairobi. Yes, the kutfo. Okay, so we're 1-1. Okay, next question. At some point, this is a yes or no. At some point, have you had to download either WhatsApp, Viber, or Telegram to keep in touch with family? And some people will have no idea what these apps are, but Viber, Telegram, yes, 100% yes. And when people came out with, when people came out with Telegram, I'm like, I cannot do another app just to talk to, you know.
I can't. That one exists now. That one's new.
That one's new. And it's really annoying because every time somebody joins, it's like, Dawit has joined in 10. I'm like, I don't need to know that, but it's,
That's like,
all right, 2-1. It's looking good for the cookout. Okay, so next. You ever eat non-Ethiopian or non-Nigerian food with your fingers because it simply makes more sense? Yes or no? Non-Ethiopian, non-Nigerian food with the fingers. Yes. Right? My dad calls it the first forks. Why do we need to use forks? These were the first forks.
That's what I'm gonna say the next time I'm in a restaurant and somebody looks at me weird.
Exactly.
So like it just makes sense. I like it.
Just
It tastes
look at it. It looks like a fork.
exactly.
Exactly.
No, there's a
okay. Next question. Okay, Habeshas are the queens of nicknames. Did you have a nickname growing up that once your classmates, friends outside the home heard about it, insisted on using and making fun of you for? Yes or no? And then, of course, I'm going to ask you what the nickname is. So
yes.
you don't have to answer. However, that's coming.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, Choo. Tell me what your nickname was.
So it's not even, I didn't get this when I was younger. It only happened when I was just in Addis. Like they were like, why don't you have a Beitsim? Why don't you have like
your Beitsim, exactly. Which for those listening means a house name.
Name. And they're like, okay, well, I was like, give me one. They're like, us too. I was like, why in the world? And then my cousins were like, that sounds like an old woman's name. But then 100%. When I got and I told my boyfriend, he was like, oh, that's your new name from now on. And I was like, please no.
So actually, Lily is my Beitsim. My given name at birth was Tzabawat, which even Ethiopians were having a hard time pronouncing. My parents had to go deep Orthodox and call me like it's one of Jehovah's names in the Bible, Jehovah Tzabaoth, Jehovah Jireh, et cetera, et cetera. But of course, nobody's heard of Tzabaoth. It means God of mercy. So yeah, so then my dad started calling me Ililikia. So he is from Harar, and this is like Oromiya name. And so then it became, of course, when I came to the US, it became Lily. And then actually they wanted to call me Lillian. They're like, we can't say Lily. So how about, Lillian? I was like, I'm not going by Lillian. So then all these years later, my Beitsim Avi Lili became my legal government name. Isn't that sad?
That's crazy.
Yeah. It's been a real evolution. And then my husband's last name is Piper. So imagine now I've gone from about Salamon Bekele to being Lily Piper. And then I was like, oh no, I have to hyphenate. This is just, that's not gonna work for me. Okay. Were you allowed to attend sleepovers as a child, or did you hear a refrain similar to, why do you need to go? You have a bed at home.
Okay.
Oh, I did it wrong. I did my answers wrong.
Is it?
Okay. So did you attend sleepovers, or were you told you have a bed at home? So did you attend sleepovers?
No. Yeah.
No. 100% no. And did I hear that refrain? Yes. I don't know how to get it on.
Yeah. That's so funny. I was like, that it was. Yeah, it was a lot of like, why? Why do you need to sleep?
Why?
In the house?
Yeah, exactly. Why? So many questions. Why? It's interesting because I just under 20 years older than you, and still that is like apparently also a genetic code for I think most Black people in the world. Like you just don't let your kids have fun.
That's true. Do you let your kids go on sleepovers?
So this is what's happened. I have gone the other extreme where I do. I'm doing everything. I'm letting them do everything my parents didn't let me do. However, I do prefer if it's at my house. I do try and put that out as an option first. Why doesn't everyone come here? So that we somehow kind of manipulated a little bit because my husband is Black American. So he's like, I don't get it. I was like, I don't need you to get it. I'm just telling you this is my preference. So yeah, I'm a hybrid. I'm a hybrid on that one.
Oh my God.
Okay. One more question. Actually, maybe two. Okay. Are any of your family members named the following? Aman, Nati, Yoni, Saron, Betty, or Meron? Aman, Nati, Yoni, Saron, Betty, or Meron? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, 100%. And probably you have all those names. I can't get this on camera right. Anyway, yeah. Do you have a Betty in your family?
And Meron.
Yes. Same. Yeah, same. Betty, I have a Meron, I have a Saron, I have an Aman. You don't have an Aman? I feel like Aman is like second most common name, no? Okay. That you've met.
That I've met, yeah. Yeah, that's actually a very good point.
Okay, last question. Don't be offended. We're all in the same boat. Can you fit more than 4 fingers on your forehead?
Oh.
Yes, girl, yes. My husband calls it the 5 head. Look at
Literally,
this.
yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah. Literally five fingers. Yeah. And some days it's 6, depending on how the eyebrows are doing. Yeah. So so it looks like the score was 6-1.
That's amazing.
Arséma, we're cousins.
I know. We're the family now.
Family. So now I can hit you up for money and the
Oh,
contact. That's what happens now.
Viber group chat.
Exactly. Add me to the group chat.
Maybe one day we'll get onto something. Until then we say, hold on. I know it's hard, but baby, you just got to hold on.